Howdy chaps, I just thought I'd do a 5-second intro to this thing and mention I've worked out the little picture and the 50k challenge thing and the rules, and I did notice that it says you have to get to $50,000. Someone actually commented going, is that 50k in the profit or 50k in the hole? That's up to you. So I'll flash that up in a second and you can have a saucier, pause it and work it out. If you wanted to do it, I mean, be my guest, but it's just something fun that I worked up, so enjoy that one. Howdy chaps, I thought I'd run you through this. I've started removing the parts, so I've got myself a new hub, and I'm pretty damn sure that the wheel bearings did not fail. I spoke to the wreckers and they said, oh, it's very, very common for the forklift operators to break wheels off the cars. They just use their forklift tine and just hit them in such a way it just shears them clean off. And as you can see in there, that's pretty much what's happened. So I've got a whole new hub. It's only 3 bolts to take that off. I've put a wheel back on. Got a new brake line, got a new wheel rotation sensor, got a new caliper. Here's the bits of the old one. Fantastic. I'm going to keep the disc for now. I'll put a new set of discs on it once I'm done, but this is pretty much all I'm going to do today. Well, and I got another guard, so I might do that as well, but for the short term I need to get this car back on its all 4 wheels. So I'm going to undo the bolts from the back side of this and in theory put a new hub on. It's a bit windy today too. Put all this on and we should be back on all 4s with no issues. So bear with me, I'll try and keep you up to date with it. It was only a wheel hub, brake caliper, a guard and all that. Ended up being about 265 bucks all up. So we're not breaking the bank yet. Right, hub's out. Not much of it left. You can see you pretty much could see what's sheared off in there. A couple of wheel bearings have fallen out, but that's not surprising. Disconnect the well, I guess it's an ABS sensor, but I call them a wheel rotation sensor. I'm going to put a fresh one in that hasn't been in an accident. I'm not going to throw it out because it doesn't look damaged, because obviously it didn't really get a rude shock because it sort of stayed where it was. It's brake caliper that got broken off, so I've got that blocked off in the moment. I've got another brake line just because I think that one's been put under a fair bit of stress with, you know, it pretty much holding the entire weight of the wheel. So I just got to disconnect the wheel sensor from here. I might clean the dirt out of the click so I can actually undo it, and then pull that off and then put it in the new hub, which is back here. Let's start reassembling. So luckily, superficially, that's the broken stuff. It would have been nice for that not to have been broken, but you're luck of the draw really. So just watch yourself when you're buying cars and pickles. Sometimes you get a bonus that you didn't even have to ask for. Just like that, I can put a wheel back on. Woohoo! Loctited, torqued up, wheel hubs back on. We can now put a wheel back on. I've replaced the wheel rotation sensor or brake ABS sensor, either or. I'm going to replace this brake line in a second, just because I'm paranoid about it. How about we get one from a car that hasn't been had the wheel dangling off it? So we'll do that in a second, and then I can get I'll have to try and get this caliper off the disc and get that back on the car, because it's nicely jammed on there. But then we can get a wheel back on this car and potentially move that FG and turn it around. That was actually my first FG write-off. I did that about 6 years ago. It turned out beautiful. So let's try and get this apart, get that off, get the brake line off, get the new, well, not new, but good second-hand brake caliper on, and keep on keeping on. But at least we've made some progress. We can put a wheel on, it won't fall off. Right. The good second-hand pads are in. I mean, I will put before this goes for its roadworthy, I'll put a new disc and pads in it. I'm trying to do this without too much wind. So the sensor in, plugged in. I'm now going to put the non-stuffed caliper on, add its brake line, just disconnect them from there and reconnect them here, and then bleed the brakes and put the wheel on and be done with it, I think. And just like that, we're officially back to square one. So unfortunately, it was a little bonus of Pickles that they managed to break the wheel off. But, oh well, you know, joys of the thing. Right, but that's pretty much it for today's video. It's not going to be a long one, but I had to share the repair because it's probably not a bad idea. But I consider that a small victory. It's now able to be put down on all fours. And I think that'll wrap up the video quite nicely. Oh chaps, I totally forgot to mention that I actually managed to pick up a guard today as well. So this one's pretty buggered actually. So it's got a big honking dent, but I know it's got a big split in some filler work there. So it's obviously been smacked once before in its life. So no great loss there. Let's probably just go straight in the bin. Obviously I need another bonnet. I've got another guard lined up for this side. I've actually got a door lined up in the right colour too for the other side. But here's the guard I got today. We were limited on vehicles to carry things. I'm just trying to do this quickly before the sky falls in. It's about to have a thunderstorm. But here's the guard up. I got this for 110 bucks. Only issue's got a little scratch on it. I might just brush touch that and give it a quick rub down and a polish. And that'll go straight on. I've got a door lined up that'll replace this one with that big woof in the center, and realistically after that, for this whole side, I probably need to repair that. I think that's a bit much for a PDR guy, and it's basically you just paint from here, this top section, down to the end of the sill panel, and that's it, and try and do it in there. That'll be a fun one. That might actually suck a little bit actually, trying to get that off. Might have taken the tray off. Don't know, we'll have to play it by ear. But yeah, that's the only bit I've got to repair on this side really. That dent actually popped out mostly, but we'll have to try and get that a bit better. It's got a couple here. I reckon some of these dents actually popped back out. I reckon somebody put a foot through every single spot. There was a clear section on this whole car, all through there. And I don't actually know how they managed to crush the roof down without breaking the windscreen, because normally when you walk up the bonnet, people walk up the windscreens crack immediately because they can't really carry that much weight on them. I don't think that little mark on the bar was from people kicking the snot out of it. I think that's just luck of the draw. Probably it looks probably more like a tow bar has been through it actually, so from it being used. I've got a bonnet lined up, whether or not I get a red one or not, whether or not just buy a brand new one because they're pretty cheap. And I've got to get a mirror for the left hand side, yeah. And I've got a couple dents here, which I think is yet another foot in the side, and there was a ripple here as well. But although this panel doesn't have any ripples on it, there is a couple of tiny little handprints because my wonderful daughter was helping me and she ended up getting really grubby hands and ended up touching the side of the car. So there's some greasy patches right there. But realistically, now that we've fixed the wheel issue, I've just got to bleed the brakes, and then we're just on to repairing damage that's been sustained by someone. But it's going to be another short video today, but you know, short and sweet, keep you updated at least, and you know, keep you following. So we've got the new guards in the boot, in the tray. We've got a door lined up, so that solves a good chunk of the side. Got a repair there, and then not much else. We'll obviously get another bonnet. So we're winning, we're getting there. But thanks for watching, chaps.